I studied 3,000 words I still could not speak. David had a system. Every morning before breakfast, he opened his vocabulary app, 20 new words every single day. He wrote them in a notebook. He reviewed them before bed. He tested himself every weekend. After 2 years, he had studied over 3,000 words. He felt ready. He was not ready. One evening, David went to a language exchange meetup. It was in a small coffee shop downtown. He arrived early. He found a seat near the window. He told himself he was prepared. A man sat down across from him. "Hi, I'm Tom. Are you here for the English exchange?" David smiled. He opened his mouth, and then, nothing, not silence exactly, something worse than silence. His mind was full of words, thousands of them, sitting there, organized, labeled, memorized, but none of them moved. It was like having a drawer full of tools and not knowing how to pick one up. Tom waited. David managed 4 words. "Yes, I am David." Tom smiled and kept talking. David nodded. He said yes a lot. He laughed when Tom laughed, but he never found the words. On the way home, he deleted the vocabulary app. David stopped studying for 3 weeks. He felt like something was broken inside him, not his English, something else. He had done everything right. He had been disciplined. He had shown up every day, and it had not worked. One afternoon, he was watching an English interview online. The host asked the guest a simple question. "What do you do when you feel stuck?" The guest laughed and said, "I stop trying to find the perfect word. I just describe it. If I don't know the word for something, I just talk around it. I say what it looks like. I say what it feels like. I say what it reminds me of. The exact word usually shows up on its own." David rewound that part. He listened again. He sat very still. He thought about his drawer full of tools. He had spent 2 years collecting them, but he had never practiced picking them up. The next day, David tried something different. He did not open his vocabulary app. Instead, he sat in front of his mirror. He picked a simple topic, his morning. He started talking, not perfectly, not smoothly. He described his coffee without knowing the word for the exact type of cup. He talked about his commute without knowing the word for the specific train line. He explained his mood without finding the precise word for the feeling. He talked around everything he did not know. It felt uncomfortable. It felt slow. It felt wrong, but he kept going for 10 minutes. Then he stopped. He looked at himself in the mirror. He had just spoken English for 10 minutes, alone, imperfectly, but continuously. Something small shifted in his chest. He went back to the language exchange 2 weeks later. Tom was there again. "Hey, you came back," Tom said. "Yes," David said, and then he kept talking. He did not know every word he needed. At one point he said, "I don't know the word, but it's like a feeling of when something is almost right but not quite." Tom nodded immediately. "Oh, you mean bittersweet?" David repeated it quietly. Bittersweet, he had never studied that word. But now he would never forget it. On the way home, David thought about something. For 2 years, he had been building a library. Thousands of books, perfectly organized, never opened. Speaking was not about having more books. It was about walking through the door, pulling something off the shelf, using it, even if it was the wrong one, even if it fell apart in your hands. The library did not teach you to read. Reading taught you to read. 3 months later, David still forgot words sometimes. He still talked around things he did not know. He still made mistakes in almost every conversation. but he was always in the conversation. That was the part that had changed, not his vocabulary, his willingness to show up, without all the right words. So here is something worth thinking about. How many words do you already know? Probably more than you think. The problem is not the number. The problem is the door. You have been standing outside the library for a long time. The words are already there. They are waiting for you to use them, not to collect them. You do not need 3,000 more words. You need one conversation. Imperfect, uncomfortable, real. Are you ready to open the door?